Let's take a look at where you should be after a couple of months of using this system. You started off, guys, I want you to think about this. You started off with a little puppy that wouldn't potty outside and didn't know anything, that started following your hand, and next thing you know, a couple months have flown by, and you have a dog that should be coming when you call it, being still when you tell it, and having good manners. All right, so what we're going to do in this video is take a look at the basic vocabulary that you're going to be using and some of the exercises that you're going to be using to maintain that vocabulary. So let's review our basic vocabulary. We have let's go, hup, easy, wait, stay, and come. So let's watch Amy in action with these commands. Let's go. That just means they're going. Now hup, good dog. A little jump, little hup. Little jump, little hup. Now it's a crowded environment, so we're going to say easy. We're going to set the emotional tone, guys. Small challenges is when you really learn to become an emotional leader. Now she comes out of that easy part, she's going to go hup, 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 hup. Negotiate that obstacle with style, with a lot of energy, with a lot of vigor. Hup, 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 hup. But coming up, guys, she's going to go from that excited state, she's going to calm her down, say easy, easy. Then she's going to throw in a wait. A wait is a temporary pause, just a little second, like you're getting in or out of the car. Okay, then she's going to come off of there, and now she's going to work on stay. Now, stay is your long pause. Okay, what we're telling the dog when we say stay, basically, is wait here. We're busy. We don't have time to hold your leash, and we don't have time to look at you. So just wait there. We'll be back to get you here in a little while, and when we come back, we're going to do something fun. I promise. We really like to throw in a physical exam at least once a week when we're working with our dogs. We like for it to be easy to take a dog to the vet. When your dog's easy to take to the vet, you get a lot better service, guys. And, you got to remember, vets are people too, right? And I can promise you, because I got a lot of friends that are vets, if your dog will let them look in their mouth and look in their ears and feel their body and won't protest, won't give them a hard time, you are going to get a whole lot better service while you're at the vet. So spend a few minutes a week making sure your dog is prepared to go to the vet and be friendly and stand there and get examined. Once you've got your basic vocabulary lined out, guys, then everything else is just a matter of practicing and gradually raising the distraction level of the environment where you're placing the dog. So what we've done here is we're walking two dogs, So if you have a partner in your neighborhood, a buddy, somebody else with a dog, take your puppy out and walk with them. And really, make sure that your puppy can maintain his impulse control, can maintain his attention span under distraction. So it's great to go walking and make sure the dogs are polite while you're walking, and be sure to throw in some stays. Just some simple stop and sit stays. Now, don't worry too much at this age if your dog stays in posture or not. I never worry about that too much. In the beginnings, I'm only worried about coming and being still and having good manners. And so if the dog stays in posture for a little while but then decides to change its posture, like right here, Zuri laid down, okay, no big deal. I don't care. We just want the dog to stay. Once we can get the dog staying well, then we start adding levels of distraction. Like right here, I've got a child riding a tricycle around. Now a lot of times dogs like kids, and for sure these herding dogs, they like to chase anything with wheels, right? So this is really hard on those dogs, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them for showing me that they have the attention span and the impulse control and the handler sensitivity to pay attention under that level of distraction. Now each day you just go try to find a couple of extra kids or a couple of louder kids and increase the distraction level so that you can make incremental progress. Now, one of the things that'll get you guys is you're working with your dog and you're becoming a good novice dog trainer, but that doesn't mean everybody in your neighborhood's a good novice dog trainer. So one of the things that you should practice every day is having people come up to your dog and give your dog false information. So in this case, I've got a little child here and he's coming up and he's getting the dog really excited, which from the dog's perspective means, hey, jump up and play with me. But what we're doing is we're convincing the dog that this is really a game that's being played, and the way to win the game is to ignore the child and remain well-mannered and keep their feet on the floor regardless of what the child's doing. This is a super good thing to do, guys, to enforce your polite leash manners. One of the most important things that you just absolutely have to practice every day are recall exercises. It's no good having a well-trained dog if it won't come back when you call it. It'll just end up running off and being somebody else's well-trained dog. So, guys, you got to do these exercises. But the good thing is they're super fun. Now, this is what we call the puppy in the middle exercise, right? Okay, and so what happens is you get you a partner and you call the dog. When the dog comes to you, you give it a treat and love on it a little bit, and then you get really calm and quiet and your partner calls the dog. Right? This is a super fun drill, guys. Kids get the biggest kick out of this, and the dogs get a big kick. And coming is a funny thing, guys. If you get a dog used to coming quickly at an early age, by the time they're a year or two old, I mean, they're pretty much 100% reliable off the leash. Now, I have to say that with kind of a grain of salt and say, well, okay, dogs are never 100% reliable off the leash. All right, now I'll give you that. You might not want to go and walk by a Los Angeles freeway with your dog off the leash. But as far as just being out hiking, adventuring, going to a barbecue and things like that, you can get a dog pretty dang close to 100% reliable as far as his recall goes, as long as you'll practice these fun little exercises like puppy in the middle when they're babies, okay? And there's not even any reason not to practice it. Look how much fun it is. Amy and George are just out there in the yard calling this dog, and look how fast that little dog runs. Look how much energy and how much effort she puts into the process. Okay, now you don't have to always be outside to play puppy in the middle. You can do it from 2 recliners sitting in your living room. You can do it from the basement of your house to the upstairs of your house. You can do it across your backyard. You can do it from the bathroom to the kitchen. I don't care where you do it, guys, but you do need to do it a couple of times in the morning and a couple of times in the afternoon and a couple of times in the evening. And that's really important, because I need that dog to understand that coming is something that might happen at any time during the day. You got to be really careful when you're doing recall exercises not to only do it after work, because then that's when a dog thinks they have to come, right? So you just want to kind of throw them in just here and there, and never too many. Do 3 to 5 repetitions, but do, as many sessions as you can per day, as long as they're separated by a couple of hours. My second favorite recall drill is what we call hide and seek. Now, I like to start off with this with 2 people, but you can do it by yourself. You just have to be a little bit more creative. In this instance, what I do is I have one person restrain the dog, and I have the other person run and hide from the dog. Now, at first, it's very important that you don't hide, to the best of your ability, or your dog will never find you. Okay? So, like everything else, guys, we're building on incremental progress. Each day, you hide just a little bit better. Just pretend you're playing with a toddler. So at first you hide where they can see you, then you hide where they can barely see you, then you really, go to a lot of effort. You can hide up in a tree if you want to, and they'll find you. Now, what Amy's doing there, she's restraining the dog a little bit, and when you restrain a dog, that makes them try harder, okay? Because they're like, hey, I want to chase George, I want to chase George, I want to chase George. Oh, wait a minute, where did George go? Well, George is in that barrel. So Zuri's going to run over there, and she's going to try to find him. And when she finds him, not only does she get the satisfaction of finding him, and he's going to make over and love on her, but he's probably going to give her a treat and roll a ball for her. So there's all kinds of stuff going to happen. Find me and I'll love on you. Find me and you get the satisfaction of just finding me. Find me and you get a treat. Find me and you get a ball. So we're trying to roll a whole bunch of stuff up into these recall exercises, guys. And the more fun that you make it, the more that dog's going to try to find you. Okay, and I tell you what this does. This creates in the dog this sense of always keeping an eye on you. This is one of my go-to exercises for people that are going to be out and about and rarely have their dog on a leash, because instead of you having to look for the dog all the time, the dog gets in the habit of looking at you just to make sure you're not running off and trying to hide. It's really a super fun game, and I recommend you play it at least once a day.